They don't know what the fuck they're doing.
How will you fucking stop?
First of all, don't tell me what to do.
Yes, that's right. Rise and shine, infidels. It's another day in the prison planet where you're going to be put through the meat grinder. But at least in the line for your slop breakfast, you can have some discussion about worthless professional wrestling. So hear me now. You have 2 moons. And when MSG pulls out his ass, you might have 3 infidels here on the Friday Locker Room. YOLO. Good morning, pal. Hey, did you hear about the new moon?
Now. Yeah, fuck yeah.
Good morning.
That's right. That's no moon. And it's a good morning to you guys. Hopefully the sun does come out. It's that rosy and gray in the Northeast as we head into All Hallows Eve season, if we make it there. Supposedly you're supposed to take your vacation by October 29th because 3 eyes coming for you. 3 AI, 3 gay guys, whoever's coming for you, somebody's getting come down. Sign this NDA as we start off the day here on the Friday Locker Room HMG. Plenty to talk about. And there's some things, I don't know, maybe I will and won't talk about. I didn't even smarten up MSG. But interesting, funny stuff that I'm glad to be outside of the bubble of. But road from award-winning independent films. He's been out on tour with that, so we're glad to have him back in the studio with us today. It's MSG. How's it going, pal?
I'm doing good, man. Another fun-filled Thursday here as it comes to the end of my work week, day out, my days off. Get back to the grind tomorrow. So I've just been memorizing a script for acting class we're working on right now that I got to perform. I got to be off book for, so I got to memorize 1 more paragraph. So I'm good.
The off book look. I got to fucking get these lines down.
I've been fucking cramming all week, dude.
But if you get stuck, improvising isn't the worst thing. You know what the scene needs. You like if we fuck up in a wrestling match, grab a hold, reset, and we'll get back to it. You know what I mean? So don't let the memorization process weigh down your performance. Try and stay in the moment. Whatever happens is gonna happen. Yeah. It's acting class. Who gives a fuck? Nobody's.
That's true.
It's the place to go off. Yeah.
Yeah, so I've just been working on that. Yeah, last week was good fun, man. Went out to Arizona, got to see the movie, hang out with the friends. It was really surreal seeing myself up on the big screen. I had the longest role as far as my story in the anthology was the longest. It was like a good 40 minutes. So I had the longest role. It was cool because there was 2 showings. There was a 6:15 showing and an 8:30. Hey, stop it. Sorry, it's my girlfriend's dog. So there was a 6:15 showing and an 8:30 showing, and when I showed up at 6:15, or we showed up, I'm sorry, at 8 after this first showing was over, there was already a crowd of people, coming out, and they all rushed up to me and they were like, "Wow, you did really good. You were really great in this movie." And then,
wow, that's good, man.
And then, after we saw it, then all the people we were in the movie theater with, they came out and said the same thing to me. So I was like, wow, that was really cool. And then afterwards, I was hanging out with some friends, and one of my really successful friends, Kabi, he basically sat me down. He was like, "Bro, I just want to let you know, and I don't bullshit people." He was like, "You need to do this." He was like, "You need to be pursuing this full time. You need to come back to Arizona already and get back into this." So it was vindication. It was nice, man. It was nice getting that praise from my peers.
That's
and from friends.
Phenomenal, dude. That's phenomenal. I'm so proud of you, Matt. And that is. You never know, especially when you're just putting together a film and you play your small part in the machine of something much greater that it takes to do it. But then to get those kind of rewards and accolades for your performance, dude. And, it's like anything you've done the last 10 years that we've known each other. You absolutely put in the work, and every time you win. Sometimes what it looks like in your imagination versus the other end of the rainbow might not be the same thing, but those moments are great, dude. Those nights are great, and that'll be with you forever.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that you got to experience amongst friends and your people out west as well, and creating something that's gonna last, man. And that's so cool, dude. So, and I agree. I just don't I mean, you know, your friend might know the Arizona film industry better than I do, but I would say you're in New York. Yeah, and if you got momentum, now's the time to get that agent in New York or LA or wherever. You know what I mean? I'm happy to be on Chicago, but that's more localized stuff. Yeah, you could probably get on like a Chicago Fire next week, you know, one of those types of shows. And that's a great Law and Order SUV, whatever the fuck it is. And you know, then you're on your way, dude. But yeah, I like to see you reinvigorated with your art and push your limits, that next thing. And if people are telling you and seeing that, then you trust outside of just me telling you whatever, you know, like by all means, go with your gut and enjoy those nights like that, and let it inspire you and move you forward, but don't let it cloud your vision as well. You know what I mean? Because we can get wrapped up a little bit in that sometimes, and if we keep it about the performance and not the accolade, you're going to get the accolade instead of driving for that. Does that make sense? You know, in the acting world, I've seen a lot of people get caught up in one after something good kind of happens to them, and then they're not ready because they weren't doing the craft to the best of their ability. They were just trying to be celebrities.
Yeah, no, I definitely, I don't have that mindset.
There's
I
a
have
big
the
delay
mindset
between
of-
the song.
Yeah, a little bit. I definitely have the mindset of like, okay, I did that movie. It was great. What's next? What can I work on next to try and better myself as an actor? So, but you're right. Well, the only reason why we were talking about Arizona is a lot of the production companies in California, they're all moving to Arizona. They're getting the fuck out of there. So Arizona, within the next 4 to 5 years, is going to be the hotbed because they're building like $100 million studio out in Buckeye, and Buckeye is like one of the fastest cities growing right now in the United States. So, it might be beneficial for me to go back to the area, which I had already started to build my loop, right? If we're talking music or entertainment, I'm building my loop as far as like connections and contacts and whatnot. But no, you're right. I mean, New York also wouldn't be a bad place as far as trying to break into as well. The only challenge I have right now, and I'll have to make this decision next year, is, it's really hard to pursue acting full time and work a full time job, right? So I'm going to have to at some point make a decision, how do I do this? How do I make money without having to work 40 hours a week somewhere for someone,
And that's what this next year should be, is setting that up. And I think the fact that you've got some energy behind you because of how well your part is being received in this film, and the fact that it's award winning already at the New York Film Festival. Now's the time to try and get an agent, like in the next week to month, to start getting interviews with maybe 2 or 3 different, see what feels best for you. And you balance going on commercial auditions on certain days that you can with your production gig until you can pay the bills, and really start to commit to that. Because you can always come back to production. You know what I mean? You set up yourself a good foundation to have a career. It's not like if you stopped it, you're like, oh, that's done. You know what I mean? You can always come back and do that. So
my biggest concern obviously is just the financial aspect, making sure the bills are paid and whatnot. So I'm just
well, they'll always get paid, bro. You're a chop wood, carry water, motherfucker. It's sometimes going to be harder than others, but it's that journey. And then when you get there, you won't have to worry about it. You know what I mean? And that is like, oh, do I make crazy bank doing production and I can buy whatever I want and whenever I want, or do I fucking sweat it out and try and kindle this artistic fire into something because people, see something in me. So it's hard for us to see ourselves like that. But I know in acting, when you got momentum, you play momentum. And with what's there now, I would definitely say an agent is the absolute next step while things are still trucking along.
Yeah. Well, I just need to update my reel. I've got update my IMDb and all that good fun stuff. But I have
Sure.
I'm just waiting for a copy of the movie so I can update the reel.
Right on.
Yeah, but other than that, eventually I'm sure it'll be on a streaming service, an afta.info website that you can watch. You know what I mean? And I'm
Yeah.
sure everybody else can.
After2.com. Get me Buckeye, by the way. That's what I was going to say earlier.
So before we get into the wrestling headlines, because there's so many good wrestling headlines for us to talk about, I saw that we got some more announcements at 2CW over this last week. We got Moose, who's going to be joining the older 10-year reunion, older, fatter.
Older, fatter, balder. Actually, it's older, fatter, balder, because 5-year union was older, fatter, balder. So we just put another ER on it.
And the Rascals, apparently they're showing up.
Yeah. Interesting is like one buddy got cut from NXT there, right? And the Rascals, very talented guys, but good young dudes in Impact. When Big Ray and I were still watching Impact and reviewing it together, they were kind of making their bones. And dude, they were allowed to have fun, F around, make stoner jokes. And we got close to where we should have gone because they're restricted a little bit, but you could see it was kind of their own stuff and they felt comfortable doing it. Then, of course, in NXT, we blow that all the shit. Hey, here comes an act with money written on them. Fuck it. So then none of them get over except for inside the NXT bubble. Other brothers go back to Impact, but it's not the same. They're trying to break out and be their own men, as opposed to the Rascals, the goofy stuff. But Hardy Boys got over as cool guys and they fucking rode that for 20 years, so why not be Larry Moe and Curly or whatever it is you want to be, that 70s show and stick with it, and it works. And I enjoyed the shit out of their performance as young performers in Impact. Frustrates me of when WWE can't get anything right, of course. And but I'm super pumped to let them know that I was a big fan when I watched their work, man. So, and then Moose, I'll probably tell him I still owe him a bad one for spearing me in 2010. And he'll go, "You still bringing that shit up?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm still bringing that shit up, dude. You speared the fuck out of me and you're going to get yours." I paid him a lot of money. He turned on me. I'm not happy about it.
Motherfucker. Well, shout out to Scott Woodford with the $1.99 super chat. It says, "Breaking news: I bought the movie for my girldrand." Well, thanks for checking out the movie, Scott.
Now he's like, "I'm not watching it. I'll make her watch it." So fuck that.
Well, appreciate you, Scott. Thanks, buddy. All right, well, let's get into some news. The first thing you want, we talked about before on air was some AI stuff. I know we weren't here last week to talk about it on the Friday Locker Room, but WWE apparently wants AI generated creative, and it gets apparently some predictably bad results. So last month, a new senior director of creative strategy was introduced to the WWE creative team by Chief Content Officer Triple H, Cyrus Kozari. He got the job after spending 2016 to 2022 at BuzzFeed as a producer and then joining the MMA promotion One, where he stayed from 2022 until WWE hired him. Per the latest Wrestling Observer newsletter, Triple H has told his team that Kozari was there to integrate AI into creative services like videos and graphics, but also into WWE's storytelling. A Dave Meltzer source claims the CCO said that the shift is going to use AI as inevitable when it comes to creative in pro wrestling. Ben, artificial intelligence being used in pro wrestling. Is it not already being used? It feels like it's already been being used for the last year or two, huh? I mean, with all the crap they're pushing out.
Sure seems like it. And what is, as an actor and both of us, a lot of our friends and ourselves are like, "Oh shit, there goes my future." And if you're not established to the point of Nicolas Cage or whoever, where you can license your likeness and voice, then you're probably going to be aced out of this shit. That's why I kind of want you to make a run for it now, because 5 years from now, you may be able to sell your likeness. You're fucking, you know, I mean, you could be in Superman as fucking, what's the kid from the Daily Planet that takes the pictures and runs? You know what I mean? Like, you could be fucking Spider-Man. You got that Tobey Maguire fucking central casting look to you.
Well, you know,
right?
let's be fair. I was thinking more of like a Nightwing, Batman's older sidekick. You know, maybe I could run that.
You'd be a more believable Robin than Chris O'Donnell was, in my opinion. You know, and yeah, I could definitely see you as like a Westchester, New York dick that you just want to punch in the face, from like 80s movies too, like
Thanks.
hair slicked back, fucking dad bought him a fucking Bugatti or some shit. You just want to chop him in the throat. Again, James Spader, like, you'd be James Spader's best friend in every 1980s movie. But you know, that's gonna happen, is the AI takeover from writing, and this guy is a liaison to the White House and WWE. People have been like pushing back against AI in Hollywood for a long time. Again, WWE, a weaponized product for international you know, trade and ops or whatever it is. And the bigger part of this picture, and I talked about this on Master Shoot a bit, is that I see AI component not just as like, well, WWE's doing it, so we're going to do it, and normalizing it in the industry. That's one part of it, absolutely. But the other part is, I heard that the Saudis want to buy WWE from TKO, maybe UFC too, but mostly WWE, for $20 billion after they paid $8 billion for it. So any businessman worth his salt is going to take 250% on a fucking investment that he can flip for that amount, right? But the Saudis, what the fuck does Turkey Al Sheikh know about right in the tag team division, right? So if you get AI established and smartened up in the next 2 years, not the stupid shit that it's doing now in its infancy, it's Tony Khan booking years right now. In 2 years, it could be at Al Snow, Rip Rogers level booking. And, you know, and now we got something. And the Saudis, you sell them that with that component built in, they don't have to worry about the creative. They just pumps out literally a whole year, and then, or month, whatever you want it to, or, you know, a whole quarter with like, okay, but what if this person gets injured? And it'll have alternative storylines, you know, that we can go down. So having the AI component built in helps that $20 billion sale, saying that you don't have to worry about a creative team. So,
well, it helps the sell, but does it help the product?
How much worse can the product get?
Well, I mean, I don't know.
We had Drew McIntyre and CM Punk fighting over a friendship bracelet. How worse can it get?
I guess when you put it that way.
You carry a big purse to the ring. There's no brick in it, but you just carry a big purse. That's your thing. How worse are we supposed to get?
I'm not sure.
We're booking.
So do you feel like we're beyond?
We're booking 2 women's singles matches back to back in the middle of the show. Segments, 15, 20-minute segments. How much worse can we get? Is AI already and doing it and in control and doesn't understand it, or is there's such a lack of caring in the creative team and everyone's already checked out that nobody in the booking committee themselves goes, hold on, we can't book 2 singles women's matches back to back, and here's the reasons why. They don't. And if they did it and they did put it up there, and they probably don't know the reasons why, how you're supposed to create the show structure and why you don't do that. So it's either AI's already doing it and making bad booking choices in structure and storyline, or the booking committee is still in control and as ignorant as ever, or a combination of both. And how does it work out when somebody from the outside always comes into WWE creative? We brought in the guy who's a horror movie writer for Bray Wyatt and them. Wah, 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 wah. We brought an Emmy award winning female writer and DEI hire. let's rib her. Tell her to bring her fucking Emmys to the locker room. She fucking brought them. Somebody had to tell her to go put them away. Like, how's this guy gonna fare with the whole writing team that's been in the Shark Tank with the fucking most cutthroat bastards, and this guy's gonna come in, and every time AI fucks something up, I would undercut it to save my job and be like, dude, this is what we're doing. Like, ridiculous, right? So not only is this guy like an overlord of the creative team with AI now, he's also plugged into the White House, which means he's a fucking op, bro. He is a deep state, like New World Order, tech, fucking whatever. While Triple H and Steph are in the Oval Office with Trump, this guy is coming in out of nowhere with no wrestling experience to be the overseer. TKO is like, it's hard to break out of the McMahon bubble that we've been conditioned to for 40 years and look at it as for what it is now, which is not any WWE with the same MO. You know what I mean? It's not that anymore.
Well, I guess it remains to be seen. AI is taking over everything, and now it's
Frank says
affected the WWE.
I'm gonna inject 14th in AI. AI weed shops. Yeah, Frank. So I thought about this, right? Elon Musk is making these fucking robots. I heard they're 20 to 25,000 a piece. I pay my workers $40K a fucking year, and they only work 5 days a week, and they get free weed product and tips. Like, why wouldn't I spend $25,000 on a fucking concierge robot that can plug itself in the wall at night and be constant AI security over the store, which I also pay for? Fucking 16. My cameras are AI. When you walk in and I'm in God mode on the back on the screen, it fucking says human, male, like it names you like what it thinks you are, like, you know, and keeps constant count on every footstep pattern, because I can trace back what people's footsteps are, what they're spending most time at what case. If I had the time, I can do all that through my security program. So 25 grand for that. Then in the vault, if I had things set up, just like how I saw how Amazon allegedly got leaked, by 2033, they're going to lay off 600,000 employees to replace all with robots, which are already interacting with how they are on the floor. So if I can just get robotic arms on each one of the racks that I have the weed on, you put your thing in on the kiosk or with the fucking robot, you know, with whoever's face you want on it. You want Drew McIntyre fucking robot, you want Hatebot, you want me, whoever, right, to buy your weed from. It'll just be on a screen that way. Cheech and Chong, whoever the fuck you want working at your place. The AI arm picks it, fucking drops it right down into just like any crane machine that's at a fucking, you know, restaurant or now, and boom, you're on your way out the door. Or the fact of, if you wanted a small shop, you just have a security cage walk in with one guy sitting there to check IDs, and the AI can do that too. Let you through the next door, and you walk into a space. You just say what you want. You could have bulletproof glass walls with all the product, and it could all be voice activated, where you say, I want an Anticoke watermelon diesel, I want a Rove Northern Lights pod, and give me 2 jive joints. Pick. Swipe your card, drop it, and fucking off you go, dude. Like that. If you want to talk about how AI in the future of weed, that now just take that model of the bodega AI model. Now you don't have to worry about somebody robbing, somebody getting shot. Oh, and by the way, no cash, card only. Like that will be the model for future stores in the next 5 years.
So the question is, how do I get it on the ground floor then, Ben, of like vending machine weed? When do you see that happening? Where you can
it's
buy
tough
weed
because yeah, that's probably not until a full federal legalization, right? Because it'll be to each their own. Like, do cigarette machines still exist?
And backwood bar is still somewhere.
Yeah, like you can't buy booze out of a fucking thingy. So I'm just trying to think of, because they're controlled, regulated substances, it's a tough one to get by. That's why kind of the AI bodega model, because the way it would have to be is how everything's structured now with me having a license and all that kind of goes away because it's for one store, where you wanted to have a license to have multiple machines places. Each one of those machines you'd have to have a license under. So it's a tough way to go, but that doesn't mean 10 years from now that the entire weed industry is not going to look anything like it does now. And chances are Marlboro, Philip Morris will be running it. You know what I mean? Like, that's just the way everything goes in business. You start with mom and pops, big box stores come in, everybody consolidates. And by the end of the road, 3 companies usually own 99% of the industry.
Well,
The illusion of choice.
Can you hurry up and just open up a store here in Connecticut so I can work for you? It'd be a lot
Yeah.
easier.
Isn't it legal in Connecticut yet or no?
It is, but I'm trying to be an actor and I need a cool boss.
Yeah,
If you could just
so you
open
can
up a
manage.
store, that'd be great.
Yeah, I don't know. How does the licensing process work there? I was looking at it because Virginia, North Virginia, I was saying North Carolina, Virginia is putting it up for vote soon. And I would be interested in learning more about the process there as well. I would love to be a multi-state operating businessman with people I know, trust, and want to see succeed, level up through cannabis, because that's the weirdest part of this is I can't remember the name of the Tom Cruise fucking Nicole Kidman movie. It's Old West, but they fucking everybody's there with their wagon train and their fucking wife, and somebody fires a shotgun and you take the fuck off running, mule, and go till you get to your part of the land and you put your flag in the fucking ground. And now that's your homestead within 1 square acre or whatever it is. That's how this shit is right here. And I've told you guys plenty of times, I provide you with the fucking farmland.
Far and away.
Far and away. What you do with it is up to you. And you and Rick and many others have grown it into unbelievable creative careers, in marketing and performance. And that's what it is in cannabis right now. It's just a mad dash to plant flags. And that never see that in any industry in my lifetime, because I watched it all kind of crumble going from the 80s kid to the early 90s when big box stores took over everything and Walmart moved in. And I remember there were protests, Walmart kills your town and shit like that in like 1990, 91 here in Rome, like for a month on end, because everybody who was a small business owner, the mattress guy, the TV guy, the independent grocery store owner, knew they were fucked, and they weren't wrong. They were gone. They were gone within 2 to 3 years after Walmart opened. So, but eventually the same thing will happen. Walmart, whoever, will own weed. You know what I mean? That's just the way, the nature of business and the beast. But by that time, I'll be retired. So, now's the time to get in, and now's the time to get your acting shit in and live that life, because that's all going to change too. All going to change too. And pro wrestling could too. What have we seen just this week? I don't have to watch Punk and fucking Drew, who I got a ton of respect for, over a fucking friendship bracelet. Now I can watch Mr. Rogers and fucking John Denver and Stephen Hawking have cage matches and shit. Like, this is month 1 of that. Imagine 5 years from now, you want Stone Cold, you got him. You got the best of Stone Cold versus Rusev, in a 2-year program if you wanted it. And it will be believable because the graphics will be that good. Hopefully the script writing will be that good. And you won't even have to worry about, did we get Omos over or some shit? It's just going to be program your own. What do you want Raw to be? Who do you like? It's going to be a choose your own adventure book in life, bro. Do you want to go down the dark hallway? Turn to page 46. Do you want to drink the wine and stay in the whorehouse? Turn to page 21. Like that. That's what's coming, bro. And people aren't ready to wrap their heads around it. And every industry is going to change drastically. Like, I know Frank was just ribbing about weed. That's definitely in my mind. Why would I pay a fucking, not that I don't care about my staff and that they're good human beings. I absolutely do. I don't want to give that impression. They've been absolutely kicking ass. But why would I pay a kid 40 grand when I can buy a robot that does the same shit, restock shelves, checks people out, and provides other, like, people want to come just to see the fact that the person scanning the IDs is a iRobot, you know what I mean? And anything along those lines. So it's going to be a wacky, weird new world very, very quickly, my guy. Very quickly.
It definitely will be. It'll be interesting to see what AI takes over next. And you're right; those Sora videos that have been put out over the last month are eerie. You know, they're really eerie. The fact that
we're only 2 months into that shit.
Yeah, you can just type anything you want. I mean, I've been playing around with it. Me and Ray have been playing around with it. You can upload yourself and your audio, and you can put yourself in the videos and interact.
So much crazy shit's coming. Did you see from that? I sent it to you and Ray, those shoes. I thought it was an AI video. People were like, no, there's multiple camera angles. It was from some show in Dubai or Qatar or something, where dudes had anti-gravity shoes on and came up 6 feet off the fucking ground.
No, I don't know if you sent that.
Let me fucking see. So when I was watching, I go, I used to have ski boots like that. There's skis that were like no bigger than your boot, and it was hell on your thighs. So it might look cool, but the functionality. But when I saw that, I was like, why the fuck can't you strap that to the bottom of a car and cars are floating? It's called the Aero Foot, AERO foot.
Oh my gosh. That's crazy.
So crazy it might work.
That is technology, man. It's freaky.
Yeah, dog. Like, things are going to happen at a speed that even futurists like Ray Kurzweil and conspiracy theorists like myself could not imagine how fast things are going to change, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's going to be, I don't know. Some people, low IQ, not a lot of global exposure, are not going to be ready for it, bro. Like, they're really not. And what does it really do to our society as a whole as markets collapse because workers aren't gonna, and that's what they want to do, global income, a new world order currency, all that's coming, bro. Like, there's no stopping it. So how do you have vision, foresight, make money off it beforehand, be an early adopter with some risk, but not too much, you know? Like, it's weird waters to navigate because you're not going to get on the ground floor Silicon Valley tech. But like, when I see NVIDIA stock go crazy or qubits or whatever, I'm like, all right, who provides the parts for those quantum computers? And what smaller companies are being sourced for data farms? What does a data farm need? That I'll ask ChatGPT that. And who are the top manufacturers? Well, one of them is Micron, which is going in 4 miles down the road from Ravens Joint. So they're actually bulldozing an entire forest swampland that, like, birds and everything. Like, people, environmentalists, are up in arms about it. But like, do you think anybody's gonna fucking go to bat for the birds over AI? Like, it just ain't going down like that, right? So yeah, man, like, Micron is something I'm definitely gonna invest in because all those chips need to be built and all that shit. So it's looking at the future and going, where can I put a little bit here and watch it grow rapidly in the next 5. Watch it grow rapidly, Deuce. Come here, 5, 6, 7 inches. Yeah. Big shout out. You were scolding the dog earlier, but big shout out to my man Obazo Bin Chompin, turned 17 years old yesterday. Wow. Man. So or 2 days ago. So it was a great time. Yeah, dude. I got him at OVW as
wow,
littlest baby pup. Yeah, man. Yeah, it's crazy to think about. He's been here for 1 year after I started, but my entire wrestling run, dude. And He's old. He don't have much teeth left. He's old silverback bastard now. But let's see here. Come on, catch. That's when I got him. Like that's Christmas 2 months after he was born, and now he's old. He's an old grizzled vet, man. But he loves Halloween. He's got a skeleton shirt that I call his CM Punk shirt, and he knows it. It glows in the dark. He gets so fired up to put on his CM Punk shirt, which pisses me off even more. He's like such a heel. When he wears my merch shirt I got for him, he don't give a fuck, but he knows his CM Punk shirt. So what are you going to do, man? Shout out to Obazo Ben Champin, the greatest Yorkshire Terrierist of all time. But yeah, it's cool, man. And I know he won't be here for much longer, probably. You know, I say that, and then he'll live till 21 to torture my wife and shit, whining. So.
I just saw something about like the Guinness Book of World Records for oldest dog this last week or something like that.
Yeah,
just happened, like a Chihuahua or something like that.
Yeah, apparently and his sister's 16. She got no teeth left, but she looks good.
Yeah.
So
well,
we're doing it, man.
That's a testament to you as well. I mean, as a dog owner, that you're able to keep your dogs alive for that long, right?
Yeah, man. He's a weird cat, dude. He's a weird dog. He fucking he lived a lot of his life underneath the bed, just scared of a lot of shit. And then other times he walks around like he's confident as fuck. He's way bipolar with that shit, dude. And speaking of bipolar, Rimshot, did you see the thing with Eddie Kingston on AEW?
Yep, I got it right here. So Eddie, while being interviewed by Renee Paquette, AEW star Eddie Kingston responded to Renee's comment about people adoring him. He said, "I'm not perfect. I'm flawed. I make mistakes every day. Do you understand? I must have quit this company 8 times when I was out because of my own mental shit. I'm not a good employee. I'm not. I'm a pain in the fucking ass because I'm passionate about it. I don't want to hear shit because guess what? I can still work through the airport and catch a domestic flight. I'm trying to get to this place to a level where we can have private flights. That's when I'll tell you and everyone else, I did good. I'm over. Till then, I don't want to hear shit because it's not happening. Until that happens, until everyone is eating like that, then I'll tell you, I'm over. I'm this. I'm that. Until then, no." That was his comments.
It popped me, bro. Like, so shout out Eddie Kingston. Let me say that before we start. A guy very similar to myself who was, you know, indie guy for a lot of years, friends of a lot of people who say, you should be signed. Cuts an unbelievable promo, like one of the best in the biz. And, you know, was ready to hang him up and burn his boots and kind of got not a buddy favor because he earned it, but guys are like, no, man, we'll get you a job. So a buddy favor to get in. And I liked seeing that because I was working with him at UPW, like kind of at the end of that run right there. We did 2 shows together, I think. And then he got the spot. I was like, there is some justice in this wrestling world. However, most actors who are great at their craft are crazy as fuck. I don't consider myself that great of an actor. I consider myself a workhorse who has to put in the grind. People who have the natural it factor usually are brilliant, but they're also deficient on some other part of their life, right? Or they have bipolar or schizophrenia or multiple personality disorder or advanced ADHD or slight autism or a combination of all of those things. And then get a dad with $1 billion and you too can own a wrestling company. No, fucking with those people who are the most believable. I'll take my friend Nice Peter from Epic Rap Battles of History. I knew the first day I saw him in college, your mom goes to college, that I fucking did not like him because he had what I wanted in the it factor and he didn't have to try. It just fucking was natural for him. And he's parlayed that into being the number 2 guy on YouTube in 2015, you know? So, and his life is set off of that and they can tour off of that. Kingston got that gig and, you know, they didn't book him like the old dad of the locker room, which I would have, which is a cool spot to kind of be in. You know what I mean? Like, let the kids fight. Oh shit, dad's home. It comes down and whoops everybody's ass. That's a great spot to be on the show. You know what I mean? And instead they tried to do a bunch of matches and bad chops and all that shit that got, you know, the haters talking. But him saying he's going to quit 8 times, I'm going, brother, you got the fucking job because your boys with Team Over. Like, I get that he's passionate, but when it breaks down to like, until everybody gets private jets, we're not successful. Like, that's how crazy out on a limb this guy can go, how passionate he is. And I appreciate it, but nobody's getting no private jets. If you wanted that, the billionaire boss would give you that now. And no pro wrestler is getting to that Ric Flair limousine riding, jet flying 1980s shit ever again. Wrestling is phony. They put us next to pro sports where those guys, how much did Otani get signed for?
$1 billion.
That guy's getting a private jet. You and Kyle Fletcher and the rest of fucking, team Don Callis might get business class. Like, let's shoot for business class. How about that? Instead of middle seat on economy. But it made me laugh. I don't want to down the guy because, like I said, we're same Generation X, and he's working his ass off with Cesar Bononi. And I like to see Cesar highlight him because Eddie is kind of an everyman, and much like my fucking big New York mouth and Russo's, his can get him in trouble. But if you also got some crazy mixed in, people kind of let it slide, right? Like, yeah. I mean, what the fuck? Kanye West can say some insane shit. So, like that story popped me, and I don't doubt that he's almost been fired, but to see him like keep going down the road of like, until we get private jets, fuck that. We're not over. And what I like about it is the fact that it's never going to happen that way. But in his mind, that's a goal, and he needs to keep striving to get better until we get there. And you may never reach it, but you're striving, and that's motivating you, right? So it's kind of an insane thought, but that's why he's so good at the promo. The wrestling can be whatever. We just got to book and protect them the right way. The passion, you know what I mean, will lead you to say some wild shit. Me too. But, that was just something I wanted to put out there of like, yeah, the guy is a little fucking crazy. That's why he's so good at what he does. And other people who I don't know, like some people like that dude, Nick Gage, I saw he just checked himself into rehab too, right? So another dude who's kind of a screw loose and does way more hardcore than I care to watch. But when it's entertainment time, from what I've seen from him, he's kind of in that mindset, bipolar shit too. And I hope he gets help with his addictions and pulls through it, because I know that GCW crowd really holds him up on high as kind of their guy. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, I hope he can get over it. But in this business, carnies, queers, and addicts, bro. And the addiction side of being kind of mental, where you can deliver on one hand and then the darkness comes in and it's the lower side of your personality. That's when that shit can really grab a hold of a brother or sister. You know what I mean? So, interesting. But in this business, the people who do it the best are usually fucking whacked out. And then they want to tell you what political views, and you're like, okay, dude. Like whatever the fuck. But, no malice or heat on Eddie Kingston. That just made me laugh a little bit. I hope we get him for 2CW. I'd love to see him there.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
2CW. You can still get your tickets right now. Go to 2CW on
Going
Facebook.
Fast.
And you can go get your tickets, and you can come hang out with the rest of the HMG crew. Myself, Bobo's going to be there. Colin's going to be making his way up. I think Billy Ray Valentine has got a ticket. He told me he's coming through.
Awesome.
So.
Yeah, I got a block of 7 rooms of the Comfort Inn under Hamin Media, under my name. So if you guys are interested, they're $115 a night, and it's right down Route 81 from Watertown and 300 yards from Ravens Joint, which I'm sure we'll probably have some extra stuff with Godfather and hopefully now the Rascals, you know what I mean, at the store. So some extra meet and greet opportunities. The first night with the Hardys, we just actually changed the staging. Josh did. Pretty excited about it. Should be cool, like concert in the round. And they're going to do the first night Hardy party, and then the show's on Saturday night. So Friday, Saturday, we'll be hanging out. And but much more to come. And it seems like every day I talk to Josh, we got another big thing to tackle, but he's putting out the commercials for Watertown in the North Country that'll be playing during SmackDown, Dynamite, Rampage, Collision, and maybe NXT. So tickets are going to go quick because the first 180 out of 500 are already gone, and that's with just word of mouth promotion from the hardcore 2CW fans. Once they see the Hardys are on the show, they're going to go, and one ticket is for both nights. Yep. So it's not 2 nights. So once people see that, they're going to be gone. So I just wanted to let HMGers know now, if you're coming to hang out with us, which I really hope you do, because things like that really, you complete me. It makes me feel like all the work we've done outside of the ring and community building, and when those guys came to Ravens joint opening and stuff, like those are the moments of just seeing people that make me feel like this life is worth living. You know what I mean? Not that I ever get depressed on that shit, but I'm just saying, like, those are like, dude, it doesn't go by me. And I want you guys to feel that same way in each other's company. You know what I mean? And share moments together. And I know we will. So if you can make it, we'd love to have you, November 21st and 22nd, man. It's going to be awesome.
Jerome wants to know, is the show going to be live streamed? Any update on that?
Yeah, I tried to convince him, but Josh is right now locked in on no, because he wants to sell it afterwards. And if people post it, they'll bootleg the stream and it'll go out. So yeah, that's part of how he spends a lot to make it back. So it's a gamble if he was to live stream it and spend that money. And it's not like we're going up against, like when we did the iFree reviews, they were fuck yous to ROH at the time. Yeah. Because we were using a lot of their guys way better than they were using them. We were using Steen, Kevin Owens way better than they were using them. And there was not heat, but like silent heat back and forth. And they kept acting like they were going to get over with their pay-per-views, and they'd have tons of tech problems and people were getting fucked out of money. And not getting, yeah. So like, this is early on of like what, 2014, before there was any easy free setup, and we paid premium to bring in a dedicated T1 line and stream it. Had 0 drops during the show, and like using almost all ROH top guys, Motor City Machine Guns, Kevin Steen. Who the fuck else was on that show? There's a lot of big names. Bucks. Yeah. And like, that's just how Josh is. He'll drop that money to go, fuck you, bro. You keep trying to act like the indies ain't shit, and we're 10 times better than what's on your TV. And he'll go at WWE just as FUs of taking their old creative stuff and making limited edition shirts until we got a cease and desist or certain posters. But that just made us more outlaw. Right. If they would have paid no mind, and we wouldn't have been nearly as big, but it's the fact that they sold for it. That was our whole thing, is Striz can come up with a way to get them to sell. Strangler Steve's awesome at that shit of how do we needle them in a backhanded way where the Stooges stooge it up. And now the industry's talking about 2CW. And then 10 years later on goddamn Cody's podcast, still talking about it. But we don't know what the fuck we're doing. We're just fucking indie goofs. Who'd we ever beat?
Who'd you ever beat, Ben?
Yeah.
All right.
I beat Tracy Smothers in a dance-off.
That's true. You did beat Tracy Smothers in a dance-off. All right. So next story I've got here. This is from Brandon Thurston of WrestleNomics. Report WWE ticket prices have nearly doubled since the TKO merger in 2023. While WWE's ticket distribution sales have continued to grow for the 3rd straight year despite rising prices in 2025, WrestleTick estimates show an average of about 11,500 tickets distributed per Raw and SmackDown event, up from 11,000 in 2024. Polestar data supports this trend, showing roughly 12,200 tickets sold per event in 2025, up from 11,400 in 2024. And then there's more numbers, but basically what they're saying is right now the average ticket price rose sharply from about $75 to $118 per ticket, which I can confirm as someone who's going to go to a WWE Monday Night Raw show about a month ago, I looked at the ticket prices, and for nosebleed seats, they were $175. Also, the ticket prices for the World Series just came out, and I looked at those for like Dodger Stadium and the Toronto Blue Jays, and they are cheaper than WrestleMania. So,
Jesus Christ.
if you want to go to, I mean, you can get nosebleed seats at the World Series for $800, which I was like, that's a pretty good deal for World Series. But yeah, it's cheaper to go to the World Series than it is to go to WrestleMania, Ben.
It's fucked that we're now like $800 is a good deal, like that they've conditioned.
Well, for the World Series, I mean,
I know, I understand, but it's not a good deal. Because we would expect $2,000, like, okay, I'm gonna go see it. But like the fact that if you compare that to what we earn per year and what they're trying to do, they've priced out everyone, true fans. I'd rather have them at $200 and make 75% of the arena a lottery so families can go and make it a real moment, right? Like you'd feel like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory with a golden ticket. 4 tickets for $800. Then I'm like, that's where we should be at. But instead, we're so beaten down on the plantation that we're spending $1,000 to watch guys go hit a fucking ball with a stick is a fucking let me give you 1/40th of what I make. So but yeah, that's the insanity of the pro wrestling mark. I'm tired. Like there's been a lot of people like, I hate calling them marks. They're fans. Without them, we wouldn't be here, dude. No, like these weirdo tape trader masturbator marks are the reason why that these ticket prices keep going up and up and up and up and up, and they're paying it. You know what I mean? So I got no love loss for them making their money. I understand that, but it's all gonna breed negative PR. They already got people yelling "fuck Saudis." You got Nick Khan saying, I think people are coming to Saudi Arabia, which is a sell. And no, they're not. People from Australia, UK, and fucking US and Canada are not flying to Riyadh. Your bought show will be just that, a bunch of Saudis. They're not there at gunpoint, but they didn't pay for those tickets. They didn't pay $1,000 for nosebleed in Riyadh. Like it's all paid for by the kingdom. So now it's not really WrestleMania. It's not a global come together of wrestling fans for the week of Comic-Con and all that shit. It's fabricated, manufactured, and sold out by Ari Emanuel and TKO. And that's fine because that's their plan. It's like I said, we're stuck in the Vince McMahon 40-year bubble of wrestling is our thing. We're all part of this. Not anymore. You've been monetized and you're being shipped off to over there. That's where you're going.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm definitely confused by the prices that they're putting out these days. How does anybody afford to do anything?
Why to go see CM Punk fight for a friendship bracelet?
Yeah.
Like you want to spend your hard-earned money on that and what you could. You have buyer's remorse after that. And then how you feel. Like these are all brain gems, brain nuggets used to be called by Cogload, cognitive load, COGLODE.com that I used to teach. And I've talked about the noble edge effect. And there's 60, 70 of these parables that of what a business should and should not do to reinforce bad PR, user experience, customers becoming your advocates. Like everything they're doing is the opposite of that, of what screams good business to me. And people, what the fuck do you know? Dude, I'm not here to swing dick and swing resumes, but every business I've started out of the 6 LLCs I've owned has been profitable since day one. Not on a $1.5 billion sell it to ESPN scale, but I will fucking put my numbers of growth up against any other business owner. And if they're doing better than me, I salute them. If they're not doing what I'm doing, please tap into my knowledge so I can do an analysis with you and consult, and you can get better. Not me going, fuck you, I'm doing better than you, dude. So these business practices, when I see them that are counterintuitive to what leads to future growth and are for a short-term quick payout, make me go, are those guys idiots, or is what is coming? Which means raise value as high as possible because we are going to sell. Not let's rake our audience and fucking cut them in half. And in 5 years, we won't worry about it. They're not worried about 5 years because they're not going to own it in 2 years. Like they're not, no, these guys aren't dummies. They didn't get to that position. They've worked everybody from Fox to Netflix to USA to ESPN to the Saudis, and there's still work to be done. They've just started conditioning the Saudis. They know they're going to take that money and run and sell them the same bad bill of goods that got sold to network executives the last 10 years. They know it. No one's saying it because that'll fuck up the deal, but that's what happens. That's why Vince McMahon is getting fucked out of $50 million and cuts the feed. That's why wrestlers are held on the tarmac in a hostage situation, but no, it's not that. But you 20 can leave. You guys stay. Like all that is really going on. It's not imagined. It's just underneath the surface of marketing bullshit. But the moves they're making don't make sense in the long term for endearing your audience to the product. It's for raise prices, raise value, because we're selling.
I guess we'll find out what happens here if WWE gets sold to the Saudis. As you pointed out at the top of the show, $20 billion seems to be the talking point right now for WWE to get moved over to Saudi Arabia, as they apparently want complete control of WrestleMania when it happens. So I guess it could happen sooner rather than later here in the next year, Ben.
Yeah, I think it absolutely is. It's the 2030 plan. So you've only got 4 years left. And you have to start conditioning people. You can't just flip the switch like that in the new Vegas, right? So,
right.
And every story I see about Vegas, it's dying, da, 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 you know, outpriced, overpriced. What do you expect people to go to Riyadh and fucking hang with trillionaires and be able to spend that money? Like they're all driving fucking G-Wagons. Like as they're here, it's old bucket Honda Accords from 2010. You know what I mean? And they're like lowest price car is $100,000. Like that's where the Saudis don't care to start with. They don't give a shit. They've got $1 trillion fund, but where the bullshit of like wrestling is for the working man at home. Not anymore, dude.
Yeah, not anymore. Well, speaking of the working man, Andrade here, there's some stuff going on here. For those who missed it, Andrade, during the 6-year anniversary of Dynamite, made his return to AEW, and after being released from WWE, that was. However, he has not appeared on AEW television since he's been back to the company, as WWE reportedly has sent a cease and desist letter to AEW. In a video published to his YouTube channel, former WWE star David Otunga gave his legal opinion on the contractual situation with Andrade. He said, under this non-compete clause, technically a talent could sign a contract, WWE could turn around the next day and fire them for no cause and then say, hey, we're not going to pay you for 1 year and you can't wrestle anywhere for a year. This is in the contract. This would be enforceable, presuming this contract is valid. This is WWE being smart because they're trying to keep these disputes out of court. They don't want the talent to take them to court and challenge this because a judge would likely rule this invalid. The fact that you're preventing somebody from working to support themselves and they're given field for an entire year and you're not compensating them, that right there, we can go back to contract 101. It has to be equal on both sides where you're giving up something in exchange for something else. In this situation, the talent would be giving up their right to earn a living in exchange for nothing because they won't be compensated by WWE. It's different when WWE pays them because now they have a little more leverage for the contract to be seen as somewhat reasonable, but the argument can still be made. When WWE is not compensating the talent, I don't know how much they can enforce this. If he were to take this to court, I think a judge is very likely to rule in his favor and just throw out the entire clause in the contract. You can't prevent somebody from earning a living for an entire year. So if you've missed it, Ben, basically in the WWE contracts, it now states that if you are fired for cause, you can be put under a 1-year no-compete clause.
Yeah, I don't understand that. If they're not paying you, how you can't, you're just supposed to go fucking open your own taco stand on the fucking corner? Like what? Because now yeah, this is how you should have your agent and lawyer read your contract beforehand and say, no, especially if you're Charlotte Flair's husband, you kind of got carte blanche to fucking take a lot of red marker to it,
Yeah.
because they know they don't want the heat and So This is a quagmire for sure, but this is what I hate about wrestling. We're going to do stupid storylines where, I don't know, he joins the Callis family or whatever and then taken off TV. No vision, no creative idea whatsoever. What do we have here? A guy who was in Mexico, came to NXT, right?
Yep.
Got let go, goes to AEW, married to Charlotte Flair. So now we have inside border crossing with nepotism legacy. Then he goes back to WWE, gassed to the fucking gills with a 12-pack. Who knows what other B12 he's on, advice, Florida water, and whatever else. Welcome to professional wrestling. Shocker, steroids are unrampant. And then gets clipped, and they don't want to say why. And then they send him back, and then they're pissed that he's back. Back, forth, back, forth, back, forth. What should he be? Here's what I would do. I'm Tony Khan. I'm a fucking billionaire. How's it going? I'll put this guy on my TV show anytime I fucking want to. Sue me, cocksuckers, because you're the ones who are going to look like little bitches that you're worried about Andrade, and you want to have. What does Tony Khan want? A war with WWE. WWE wants to no-sell Khan. Here, they're selling for them. Go back at them. They're not going to fight tooth and nail for bad PR over Andrade. The other part of that is lean into this on camera. Call them out. Let him cut a promo. But I would have had something in place long beforehand. What's the guy's name? Andrade El Idolo. Take out the E. What are the initials?
AI.
I would have him subservient to a computer that is telling him what to do every step of the way. I would also make it that he was a mole for Tony Khan the entire time and went to WWE only to get information and fuck shit up, to come back and make it look like he's some fucking wrestling spy go-between that crosses the Berlin Wall. And yeah, he got caught and exiled and kicked out, but that's what gives him the credibility, not the fact that this man's one of the greatest wrestlers from Mexico. His father was, who gives a fuck? We've heard that 100 times. AI is the hot topic. His initials are AI. Could he be? I would put him under a mask and make him into possibly an Elon Musk robot like that fucking has been merged with some technology, right?
Right.
Already into transhumanism. It's going to be weird. People aren't going to be ready for it, but in their newsfeed every day is AI. And why not let that be? Why not let him be the guy who was married to Charlotte Flair, go out and shoot, who was backstage and got fucking booted out, and now they tried to keep him off camera for a year. Let him shoot and go, fuck you, sue us, because my boss has got unlimited bank. And now Tony Khan feels like a real top dog. Like, you're nobody till somebody sues you. Right? Like that's what it fucking comes down to. So again, just massive misses until we do a plancha over the top rope and a fucking head scissors into an octopus spot. Like, nobody cares. This guy's is controversial because of that. Lay the money out. What are they going to sue you for? The remainder of his contract? How much is that? $1.2 million? Pay it and be done with them. And fucking get max value that you went up and swatted the hornet's nest and didn't really get stung. Like, people, that's the whole WWE thing, even if it's under TKO or Vince. How dare you? How dare you? Vince McMahon, Greta Thunberg, very similar. Fucking, and be like, how dare you come swing at us, you little nothing company? But when they sell for it, you got them. But you can't let off the gas and go, oh, take them off TV and we'll let it see. And what do our lawyers say? Dude, you got to come back at them again. Old school ECW anti-establishment level shit.
Alrighty. Well, that's all I've got for you today, Ben. Unless you've got any other hot stories you wanted to talk about.
I got one, and it's not hot. And I don't. Well, it is hot, and I don't want to get into it because it pulled me back in wrestling brain wise. But an HMG staffer was talking to somebody in NWA and saying, "Can we get access to help you guys? You know, give you some promotion." And apparently, still have heat inside NWA for some reason, and it just makes me laugh as a businessman who's, transitioning out of the the bubble and all this shit that I don't know if it's the Dave Lagana show me one thing shit or whatever it is, but I sit there and I look at the roster of my OVW brothers who have come to me many times for creative help and are absolutely brilliant performers, and I would fucking do whatever they asked of me on the sleeve, whether it's Aaron the Idol Stevens or fucking Brad J or Mike Mondo or guys that I've helped book like Slade that's tagging with Mondo now, or when ODB's there, like all those people, they were Impact and one was the best man at my wedding and I live with, and they all come to me for advice when they needed it. But I'm the piece of shit who would love to have my staff do a review show for you for free and help promote your product on Pluto. But remember when Dave Lagana was a cunt to you and you still got heat? Oh, okay, all right. Well, again, as a business owner, do you want to put numbers month to month and growth percentage next to each other? Because I'm happy to do that if that's the verification you need that allegedly I'm good enough to consult on Raw, but because of some bullshit, or I don't even know the reason, I'm just speculating. That's my own trigger from that old Lagana shit. But Stooge report is that HMG or NWA doesn't want. I'm like, okay, dude, like,
so
you could have free promotion and you don't want it. I don't know what to tell you.
One of our own basically reached out, said, "Hey, we'd like to collab with you," and they said, "No, you guys still have heat with us."
Something similar. And it wasn't, I don't want to say the person who said that is office or anything, like it's from the boys, but chances are if they know it, then. And again, that person is somebody who was help made by HMG in a lot of ways, and it's
wow, interesting.
Yeah. Not made by HMG, but given,
rebuilt.
Yeah, like helped,
given a platform to,
yeah, a little bit, not a ton, and he's a talented dude, and I don't want to put heat on anybody by this is the Stooge, like, and it wasn't a Stooge thing, it was just kind of like in passing, but it got told to me, and I was just like, and maybe none of it's true, and I'm just vamping here at the end, but like, I'm not saying none of it's true of like they're talking about us. I'm not trying to get in that headspace of like, I got to get a hold of Billy so I can squash the scene. I'm just going, dude, you're an alternative platform trying to rise up, putting your own money in. So are we. Happy to fucking do business. But because we're not those podcasters who fucking, we'll just go along and toe the line of WWE. Like, they've got heat. Because, dude, all guys I respected and came up with at OVW who I booked multiple times and wrote for are their top guys, but not good enough to fucking, even try and do an interview for 5 minutes with one of your talents to fucking, okay. My heart's really broken about that. Excuse me while I go, I can sell weed all day.
That's why I can't get a job in WWE. All right. All right, well, Ben, that's all I've got for you today here in another edition of the Friday Locker Room. Of course, guys, you can check out my podcast at South Park Pod, youtube.com at South Park Pod. Go hit that like and subscribe button. We're still on the march to 1,000 subscribers, so that way we can get fully monetized. So if you're watching or listening to this down the line at South Park Pod on YouTube, I'd appreciate that. Hit that like and subscribe button. My movie Modern Folklore is available right now for purchase. You can go on YouTube, Amazon Prime, or on Apple. Purchase the movie for $15. Shout out to Scott Woodford who did that as well. And you can check out the movie Modern Folklore right around this Halloween season. It's a perfect time, perfect for a horror movie. Sit down with a bag of some popcorn, get your snacks, hang out in your house, and watch the movie.
Dude, I got new cannabis infused popcorn just dropped at Ravens Joint. 3 different flavors. Crazy, man. Each kernel is 2 milligrams. So if you have 5 pieces of popcorn equal to taking 1 gummy, pretty much.
Jesus Christ.
It's insane, bro. What's coming? I got Nutella, Canatella now, like the edibles market. They're also getting chicken wing hot sauce. So you can do your wings.
I've done the ketchup and mustard, like THC stuff before.
Have you? I haven't even gotten that yet. I'm gonna have to look into that.
I did that out in Arizona once, and I got really fucked up off ketchup.
Yeah, edibles send me, bro. I'm definitely would way rather smoke. But so a lot of great new brands at Ravens Joint. I'm super excited. We're just getting it dialed in, man, and a lot of giveaways this month for Halloween and Thanksgiving with different levels of purchases. We got new Ravens Joint custom batteries. I'm super pumped about these too.
Custom batteries.
Yeah. So much weed in this bag.
Can't wait till next month when I get all my little fix and snacks when I come up to Watertown, New York area. Just stay at a hotel right down the street from Ravens Joint.
I must have forgot my battery. I forgot mine at the fucking shop. It's in a bag. But yeah, they're all branded. Ravens Joint, green and white, and some new Halloween socks and new gear as well, hats and hoodies and shirts. So definitely excited for the holidays to get some gift packs together, and also started selling those Puffcos, bro, that are super expensive. Dude, we moved 5 of them in the last fucking 3 days. I was like, holy shit. I had to go back and buy some more. So dabs are doing great, and everything's just really hitting right now. So excited. I think that marketing campaign, the direct marketing to locals in the mail, is really starting to pay off 3 weeks in. So that's always nice after you have a big spend that's a gamble, and then you see numbers going up from it every day. So just thankful, man. I'm not trying to flex on anybody and say like, oh, I know fucking business. There's nothing worse than that. I hope that people hear things and want to be inspired to collaborate and work, and we can all raise each other up. Sometimes you need to hear critical advice from people who are passionate about the same things you are, and some people's egos are so fragile they just tune out and can't handle it. That's fine. They're going to be where they are for a while until they get with the program, so but you guys did here. You got with the program as we were 33 strong just a minute ago here in the chat room. Glad you guys kicking off the Friday Locker Room Ultra Kayfabe Thursday YouTube transmission here on Ben Hamin channel, and as well as Hamin Media Group. We're still trying to get the Twitter back. I wish I had some updates on that. If you want hotel room to get booked, Comfort Inn, Clay, New York, you can call up there and let them know you're going for the wrestling show, or you can just post in the Hamin Media Facebook discussion
group,
and I'll send you the all the information that you guys want to get hotel rooms and all that wrapped up.
Yeah, if you want to send me that, just so I can send that out to a couple people.
Absolutely, buddy. Absolutely. So, but y'all have a good weekend. Hunting season kicking off. Looking forward to hanging with my posse Saturday night and hanging out with the Emperor Sunday morning, doing some big buck hunter and getting out in the woods and making some memories and moments with friends and family. That's your goddamn right, Wolf. We're woofing all that damn day.
Mailman's here.
Carl Malone, we love you, pal. Here on the Friday Locker Room, MSG Hacker Hamin.
Ding dong. Hello?
You know what it is.